In the crowded streets of Manila, where the sun paints the afternoon sky gold and jeepneys rattle like old memories, lived a 13-year-old boy named Rafael. Every evening, while the world rushed home, Rafael stood barefoot outside a row of small eateries, clutching an old, half-broken guitar. The strings were rusted, the wood cracked, but to him it wasn't just a guitar, it was the only thing his father left behind before fate tore him away. Rafael's voice had a softness that could quiet an entire street, but life rarely rewarded softness. His mother worked long nights in a laundry shop, their home a tiny wooden shack where the ceiling leaked when it rained, and the wind slipped through the broken slats. Still, whenever it became too difficult, Rafael would close his eyes and remember the nights when his father sang Hotel California to him, telling him that one day he'd sing on a big stage with lights shining like stars. But dreams are fragile things, easy to lose and hard to keep alive. One humid evening, while singing quietly to distract himself from hunger, a small crowd gathered. Some tossed coins, most didn't, but one woman, a tourist, stopped longer than the rest. Her eyes glistened as she listened. "You should audition," she whispered, handing him a folded flyer with a trembling smile. It read, "Philippines Got Talent, open auditions this Saturday." Rafael stared at the paper as if it were a message from the heavens. His hands shook. This was a chance, his father's dream, their dream. But fear crawled into his chest. He had never sung in front of more than a street full of strangers. And besides, he didn't have clothes suitable for a stage. He didn't even have proper shoes. The night before the audition, he told his mother about the flyer. She looked exhausted, her hands red from detergent, her eyes tired from endless nights, but when she heard Hotel California, her expression changed. She touched his face gently. "Anik, sing for your father. Sing for yourself. If they see what I see, the world will change for you." She washed his shirt by hand, sewing a missing button with thread she found in a small tin box. At dawn, she placed her old sandals in front of him. "They're too big for you," she said, "but dreams don't wait." At the audition venue, children with perfect clothes and expensive shoes surrounded him. Some laughed at his oversized sandals. Whispered. Pointed. His heartbeat raced. He wondered if he should leave. But then he remembered his father's voice, calm, warm, unwavering. "Whenever you're scared, Anik, sing. The world listens to real hearts." When Rafael's number was called, he stepped onto the massive stage. The judges looked at him, his tiny frame, his oversized sandals, his cracked guitar. One judge asked gently, "Why did you choose this song?" Rafael swallowed hard. It was my father's favorite. He used to sing it before he passed away. The audience hushed, and I want to make him proud. The lights dimmed. A single spotlight hit him. The first gentle strum vibrated through the auditorium. Then came his voice, soft, trembling at first, but carrying a depth that seemed impossible for a child. On a dark desert highway, the hall grew silent. Judges leaned forward. Something magical happened. Rafael's voice wasn't just singing, it was storytelling, sorrow, longing, memories, everything poured into each note. By the time he reached the chorus, his voice soared, raw yet powerful, cracking with emotion. "Welcome to the Hotel California." People began wiping tears. His mother, watching from backstage, covered her mouth, tears streaming uncontrollably. His guitar buzzed slightly on the broken fret, but nobody cared. The purity of his voice drowned out every imperfection. As he reached the bridge, his voice broke for a moment, and that break carried the weight of a childhood filled with loss, hunger, and survival. The judges looked shattered. He ended the final note with a trembling breath. Silence. Then the audience erupted, shouting, screaming, crying, cheering louder than he had ever heard in his life. One judge stood, wiping her tears, voice shaking. "Rafael, I've heard thousands of singers, but what you gave us today wasn't a performance, it was a piece of your soul." Another judge said, "Your father would be so proud." Rafael covered his face, overwhelmed. Then suddenly, bam, a thunderous slam echoed in the auditorium. The golden buzzer, gold confetti exploded from the ceiling like a rain of stars. The crowd roared, the stage glowed. Rafael fell to his knees, sobbing. His mother rushed onto the stage, hugging him tightly as confetti stuck to their clothes. "You did it, Anik," she whispered. "You did it." The judge who hit the buzzer approached them. "This stage needs voices like yours, voices that come from real struggle, real life, real heart. Today, you reminded us why music exists." Backstage, as producers, reporters, and fans surrounded him, Raphael clutched his broken guitar with pride. It wasn't just an old instrument, it was a bridge between him and the father he lost. That night, millions of viewers would watch his audition online, calling it the most emotional performance of the year. Some would say they cried. Others would say they felt chills. But everyone agreed on one thing: a poor Filipino boy with a broken guitar gave the world a perfect performance. Raphael didn't know what the future held. But as he stood under the glowing stage lights, his mother's hand in his, he knew one thing: he wasn't alone anymore, that he wasn't invisible, that he wasn't just a boy singing on a sidewalk, that he was Raphael, the boy who sang Hotel California and made the world listen. And somewhere, in a place far beyond the lights and applause, his father was smiling.